Hello there, I welcome you to the Power Circuit. It is proudly brought to you by the Transmission Company of Nigeria TCN to give you updates and scorecards in the Nigerian power sector. I am Amara Agugisi and I'm leading you through the reports lined up for today. Power, Water Resources and Sanitation Ministries collaborate to implement World Bank's Sustainable Power and Irrigation Project for Nigeria program. TCN linesmen taking crucial actions to keep power transmission lines active. Communication officials receive training on technical aspects of power sector operations. TCN trains engineers on power transformer testing equipment in Abuja. You will be glad you stayed through today. The Federal Ministries of Power and Water Resources and Sanitation have taken a significant step towards sustainable development. This is marked by the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding for the implementation of the World Bank Sustainable Power and Irrigation Project for Nigeria program.
According to a statement by the Special Advisor to the Minister on Strategic Communication and Media Relations, Mr. Bolaji Tunji, the signing ceremony took place on Tuesday in Abuja, marking a collaborative effort to harness Nigeria's abundant hydropower potential. In his remarks, Adelabu highlighted the significance of Spain in diversifying Nigeria's energy mix, enhancing energy security and combating climate change. The Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation echoed the same sentiment, emphasizing the importance of integrating water and energy to foster socio-economic growth. The Minister of Power, Chief Adebayo Adelabu, and his counterpart in Water Resources and Sanitation, Engineer Joseph Usev, signed the Memorandum of Understanding in the presence of senior government officials, development partners from the World Bank, and other key stakeholders.
The Transmission Company of Nigeria TCN is constantly making efforts to ensure seamless bulk power transmission through the expansive network across the country. A section of the transmission system along the 330 kV Ugwaji in Enugu to appear in Benue recently had a line snap. TCN immediately swung into action as its linesmen promptly isolated the system, located the fault, and fixed it immediately to reduce man-hour loss. Here today, you will get to see how the TCN linesmen undertake this complex yet exciting task. Come with us.
This is the transmission right-of-way of double-circuit 330 kV Ugwaji to Apere power transmission line. It was at this point that a relay on line 2 tripped. The power load on the line was automatically transferred to line 1 after the incident. The TCN linesmen promptly identified the spot and commenced the repair works. The General Manager Transmission at the Enugu region of TCN, Dr. Thomas Inugonu, stated that the fault was detected on tower 138, 139 and 140, the boundary between Enugu and Benue State, where the maintenance team got to the location through Igumale in Benue State.
Started to find out patrol again, and when we patrol, we saw that we have about 8 to 11 spans that snapped. This place we are now, we have 5 spans on ground that snapped with some conductors twisted, and that is the blue phase. So the only way to get it repaired or maintained is that we have to bring all of them down and take it one after the other. Check the composite insulators, maintain them. Then the conductors that were bad, we'll remove them and replace it. So it's a tedious work. You can also see how we navigated our way to this place. It's almost 20 kilometers from the major road that they are constructed into this hinterland. And the whole place here is not safe. It's occupied by bandits and kidnappers. So that's why we came with the civil defense, security people, some military men too, that helped us in the Igumale side.
He mentioned that TCN collaborated with the Nigerian Air Force to run through the line area and ensure there was no other encumbrance before the line was restored.
We liaised with the Enugu Air Force Base for them to run through the line for us to ensure that the line has no encumbrance. That's to ensure that our line has nothing obstructing it, no other fault. If there is any other fault, they should be able to pinpoint it and we go there. We don't want to restore any trips. So that is why we are here. This place is Ihamufu in Ebonyi, in Enugu State, boundary of Ebonyi State.
The system lines team and linesmen of TCN came from various regions of the company to urgently tackle the issue and restore the health of the long-range 330 kV power transmission line.
Abuja region, from Bauchi, Gombe, Jos. These are people that came to reinforce to see that this job is done. We have been here for more than 3 weeks, and at Igumale for another 3 weeks. So it's almost 2 months now that we are looking at. It hasn't been easy, and but the TCN spirit is to see that the job is done and completed, so that we don't have any other breakdown.
These are the insulators used to hang the line. So when this fault occurred, they on their own, the linesmen, detach the insulator, because if you don't detach the insulator, the line cannot come down. The process they are about to carry out now is joining of the broken line, the broken conductor, line conductor.
And after compressing it, we now wear in another cylinder, aluminum cylinder that will come. So as you see here now, there are layers of aluminum that is cutting. We have 3 layers of aluminum before the steel.
Despite the difficult terrain, the combined team of the system linesmen from the Enugu region and the other TCN regions ensured that the repair was completely successful. The team also replaced a cracked composite insulator on line 2 and fixed the twisted conductor on line 2 towards T120 and T125 before restoring the second line. Bulk power has since been restored through the lines to several transmission substations, mostly serving states in the north central and the northeast.
The power circuit continues after this break.
Did you know that our high-tension transmission cables are built to withstand high temperatures except artificially induced ones such as fire? Did you know that burning bush or refuse dumped by TCN's transmission tower base or along the transmission line's right-of-way is an offence? Did you know that the fire can cause high-tension transmission lines to snap and fall to the ground, electrocuting living things within the line radius? Did you know that extreme fire can cause the legs of transmission towers to buckle, and that buckling of the main frame of a tower will lead to its collapse, and may even pull down other towers along that transmission line's route, causing untold damage to the line? Now that you know, TCN is calling all citizens of Nigeria to please desist from destroying our collective national investment. Be careful. Do not set fire on trash or burn bush beside transmission towers or under electricity lines nationwide. Help us preserve the transmission grid and save the nation from blackout.
TCN, transmitting bulk electricity in the most efficient and effective manner.
Key communication officials under the Federal Ministry of Power have undergone a training session on technical for non-technical knowledge impartation to bring them up to speed with terminologies and operational aspects in the sector. The latest training session was hosted by the FGN Power Company in Abuja. Here's the report.
The latest two-day training for power sector communication officials was held shortly after the inauguration of the Power Sector Communication Team by the Minister of Power, Chief Adebayo Adelabu. The National Power Training Institute of Nigeria, NAPTIN, provided the faculty for the knowledge imparting session.
I want to acknowledge the presence of the Power Sector Communications Team and your role, which is actually very crucial to the sector. Communication absolutely is, the lifeblood of what we do. Yes, electrons may move, the reform may be gaining momentum, and all of the things that government wishes to do and to deliver for the sector. If we do not inform the public correctly, adequately, and sustainably, then a lot will be lost in the entire process. So your role is absolutely critical in that regard.
He also highlighted the expectations of the participants from the training session.
I want to just encourage everyone that leave no stones unturned in terms of understanding the sector. Context is always critical for you to be able to appreciate what is going on, not only for FGN Power Company, NAPTIN, or any of the several other agencies in the sector. What are we doing? How does it all converge? What is the coherence that we require to be able to deliver that?
In his remarks, the Director General of NAPTIN, Ahmed Nagodi, noted the importance of the training session for the communication experts in the power sector.
The power sector communication team is a very, very bold and good initiative. Bringing all those who I would refer to as the mouthpiece of the sector together to have a coordinated approach towards news dissemination. It's very, very important, and as the FGN MD said earlier, it's important for us to talk about what we do in the sector. It's very, very important because this is a very, very critical sector in the country, and the Honorable Minister of Power, while inaugurating this power sector communication team, emphasized the need for us to echo our success, to talk about what we've been able to do.
I look forward to what the outcomes will be, and I'm very, very pleased and happy to declare the training sessions open now.
Yusuf Kalel, a training facilitator from NAPTIN, stated the scope of the training regarding the power sector value chain.
First and foremost, you need to understand that the people who are intended for this training are people that are not technically inclined. However, being journalists or people who are communicators, they need to understand the industry before they can be able to report adequately about the industry. So what is intended to discuss with them is to briefly understand the basic concept relating to the power value chain, some basic terminologies that they need to understand before they can be able to report effectively. For example, you'll be hearing about current, about voltage, about power, about energy. What makes up the difference between these terms and what does each one denote? You should be able to understand that. And then some basic components that they need to understand in the value chain. Generation, what is it? What does it do? Transmission, what is it into? Distribution, what is it into? The consumption, what type of loads are connected into the system? And what is the behavior of the system if these loads are connected?
Some of the participants recounted their experiences at the training session. One of them was Mr. Eric Ene, an Assistant General Manager, Public Affairs, Transmission Service Provider, TCN.
We are here for the training of the communication team on the power sector, and I think the timing of this training is quite apt because it will expose those of us who are not technically inclined but are working in a technical industry like a transmission company of Nigeria. So the training is all about technical for non-technical, and it exposes us to a lot of rudiments in the system so that when we are reporting or when we are speaking for our organization, we'll be able to explain it better, have the insight and understanding of the system. So I believe the training is quite up, and at the end of the day, all of us will benefit from it and then be able to apply it at our different companies as we move the power sector forward.
Also talking about the impact of the training was Mr. Billy Akau, an Assistant General Manager, Public Affairs, Independent System Operations, TCN.
The training has indeed come at the right time. It's a training for non-technical personnel to know how to work alongside technical people. I believe the training will give us a wide range of techniques and strategies to know how to work side by side with our technical counterparts and know how to assess the jobs you do and to produce better results. The training it came in handy for us, and it's something that can be continued for future generations. It's quite an eye-opener, and it's a good one by the government.
In her remarks, Madeleine Abang, the communication team lead of FGM Power Company in the training program, noted the impact of the training, which she described as apt.
We are hoping that after this training, we'll become better communicators, and we will, of course, continue to push on the mandate of the presidency and the Minister of Power to ensure that the sector wins a major achievement.
Still about training, the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, has trained at least 30 power system engineers on the optimization of power transformer testing and fault detecting equipment. The early part of the training took place at the TCN corporate headquarters in Abuja. Come with us.
The critical training of the field staff of TCN was to optimize the use of newly acquired power transformer testing and fault detecting equipment. An expatriate trainer delivered a presentation on how to operate the test equipment optimally and gain the best results.
Do you know that transformers used in the substations are having on-load tap changer, right? And depending on the distance of transmission, the voltage will be low or will be higher, but most of the cases it will be lower, and then the on-load tap changer will be operational. And the operation of the on-load tap changer is more in the transformers used in the substations.
After the theory aspect of the training on the fault detecting device for power current transformers, the TCN team moved to the 132 33 kV Apo transmission substation, Abuja, where the practical demonstration of the knowledge sharing session took place.
R corrected is the value you have to take for the final results. R diff means the deviation in the resistance, and this deviation is occurring due to the fluctuation of the current.
Why is it R?
It's the resistance.
Why is it called? Oh, okay. So
fluctuating is because of the winding. Winding is an inductor.
Yes, sir.
So when you inject a current to the inductor, we cannot inject directly 5 ampere or 10 ampere. Because of the inductance, there will be current fluctuations.
At least 30 engineers from the various substations of TCN nationwide converged in Abuja for the training session.
It's very suitable for our system in terms of carrying out tests on our transformers, especially the previous ones we are using, like CPC 100, is not as fast as this Tesrano 600. So one of the advantage of this facility, it can it can carry out more than 60% of the time. The time it will take is 60% higher. So that means it will save our time in terms of carrying out maintenance or carrying out any test on the transformer.
The field staff members at TCN can utilize the device to diagnose issues with control panels and other equipment at transmission substations for easy and faster fault clearance.
Because you need to know how to connect. Okay, so here what is our main idea is to do a tap rise and tap low automatically. Rise and low automatically.
The power circuit spoke with some of the trainees during the practical session at the 132 33 kV Apo transmission substation in Abuja. Wale Oyeniyi came from the Akure Work Center in Ondo State to participate in the training.
Testrano 600 test equipment is for transformer test. It's for transformer test which can test, we can also carry out like insulation resistance, welding resistance, so circuits, demagnetization, data, and so on and so forth.
Madiali Festus came from the ULE transmission substation for the training, and he has this to say about the training.
It will reduce the downtime in testing of our power transformers. The SLA that we are always afraid of will be minimized in 60%, being that it takes out the 60% of the time we use in testing if it is to be done manually. This equipment is designed to test the power transformer at a stand using the apps. You click at one click, it will give you all the test results you needed to analyze the transformer, and you print out the test result with ease.
More participants spoke about the timely intervention and introduction of the transformer testing equipment, as they are hopeful that it will help in reducing downtime due to early detection and prompt fixing of power transformer issues at transmission substations nationwide.
As we close, here are the headlines again. Power, Water Resources and Sanitation Ministries collaborate to implement World Bank's Sustainable Power and Irrigation Project for Nigeria program. TCL linesmen taking crucial actions to keep power transmission lines active. Communication officials receive training on technical aspects of power sector operations. TCN trains engineers on power transformer testing equipment in Abuja. We are glad you stayed with us. You can always get more from the power circuit, as TCN has made all editions available on the TCN YouTube channel. Kindly connect with TCN on all its social media platforms by liking the TCN page on Facebook via Transmission Company of Nigeria. You can also follow TCN on X, formerly Twitter, by searching for @TCN_Nigeria. Experience TCN and its activities on Instagram as you click TCN_Nigeria. TCN officials are always there to receive your observations and comments by email to affairs.public@tcn.org.ng. For more information about the company's activities, go to the interactive website www.tcn.org.ng. There is also an information site, www.tcnnews.ng, where TCN keeps you updated about power sector activities. Please continue to do your best in guarding against vandalism of power transmission lines, towers and substations in your locality. The management of TCN is working round the clock to always improve on bulk power evacuation for national development. I am Amara Agugesi. Have a good time.